Hi everyone, Nikki Buckelew here at Buckelew Realty Group. Thanks for joining me today for this video. I'm going to answer the question, how do I decide which living arrangement is right for me? That's a great question. In fact, most of us are asking that question from middle age on, right? Because our lives are changing. Maybe you have kids that you launched off to college, or they got married and moved on, have families of their own now. But then there's also the issue of our health, our occupational status. You know, did we retire, or are we going to continue to work? Where does our family live? What are all of the needs that we're going to have maybe 5, 10, 15, or even 20 years down the road? So when we meet with people to discuss kind of a strategy for going forward, because believe it or not, real estate agents historically have only been called when, well, you're ready to sell a house or buy one. But we meet with people years in advance sometimes as they're contemplating what their next living arrangement might be. So what are some considerations? I've named a few, but let's think about the 3 different types of housing that most of our people are contemplating. One is they're thinking about buying a house, maybe a smaller one that's more manageable or newer, or 1 level instead of 2. Or they're thinking about leasing a place, either a house or a condo or even an apartment, because they really don't want the responsibility of the ownership aspect anymore. And then we have people who are also weighing the pros and cons of moving to a retirement community. Now that could be locally, that could be out of state or out of area, but those are the 3 main options that we are most often kind of contemplating. So how do you decide which one of those is right for you? Well, the hardest part about this is we don't have a crystal ball. I don't have one, and I'm guessing you don't have one either. And if we did, it would be really easy. But since we don't, we have to look at realistically what makes the most sense going forward. Now, I'll give you an example of sometimes when people make these decisions and gosh, they look back and they go, yeah, that was really not a great decision. For instance, we've had a couple of clients that decided they're going to downsize. So they moved from a larger home into a smaller home. They purchased it. And they purchased that home because it didn't have yard maintenance, or maybe it was smaller or closer to their kids. And then literally less than a year later, they were selling that home and moving into a senior living community. And most of the time, like with this couple in particular I'm thinking of, it was an assisted living community because their health had deteriorated. Now, they knew that their health was going down when they made the first move, but they weren't willing to look down the path that they might need more care than they could get in their own home. And so ended up making 2 moves, which is sometimes costly, but more importantly, it's exhausting, right? Moving once is hard enough, but moving twice within a year, especially when you have health challenges, can be really, really overwhelming for people. So all of that to say, how do I decide where to move next? Look at the big picture, look at all the variables, and be realistic. Ask yourself, if my spouse passed away, is this the place that I would want to be? Or if my kids moved out of the area, would I have all the help that I need, say 5 years from now? And be realistic. We're all getting older. Our bodies, unfortunately, age faster than our minds, and so it's really important to take a look at that. If you need help, or if you are weighing your options and you'd like to chat with one of us about that, please give us a call here at Buckelew Realty Group. And until next time, I hope you'll make it to one of our educational programs or our downsizers clubs. And if not, just keep watching videos. That's great too. Have a great day.